The Wizard of Oz is a story about healing and expanding consciousness. Let's talk about it. As a person meets their parts of self and releases dense emotion, they rise through the levels of consciousness. This is exactly what happens to Dorothy. The journey starts when she sets off from home. This is how healing begins, with motion. When energy is in motion, we start to confront emotion. The only thing that prevents us from healing is dense emotion. So the first character she meets is the Scarecrow. He is ashamed that he doesn't have a brain. The Scarecrow represents the dense energy of shame, the emotion, and also the healing of the root chakra. The next characters Dorothy encounters are the Tin Man. He feels guilty because he doesn't think he has a heart. The Cowardly Lion represents fear and the solar plexus, which is a sense of self. In case it's not obvious, these are characters that represent Dorothy's parts of consciousness. They each represent the heavy emotion that Dorothy needs to release in order to meet her true self. Following the yellow brick road means doing self-inquiry. Yellow are the colors of the solar plexus associated with fear and desire. So this means conquering your fear enough to follow the desire to understand yourself, to become an integrated whole once again. The thing that's preventing the integration of all the parts of consciousness is the ego. At the lower levels of consciousness, the ego is not visible. The journey through the heart means making the ego visible, so you no longer believe it's storytelling. When you're on the journey of the yellow brick road, you don't realize this yet. So the reason that the characters are going to the Emerald City is because they believe there's an external authority that can give them what they need: intelligence or clarity, courage, and to be able to use your heart and open it to feel love. Basically, what they're looking for is to become a whole, healthy self, able to express truth and feel emotion and to truly be alive. At this point, they believe that the source of that will be outside of themselves. So they reach the Emerald City, and what do they see? A giant ego mask. It is not an accident that the wizard's mask is green. In the chakra system, this is heart chakra. On the vibrational scale of emotion, this is pride or courage. When the heart opens, there's a feeling of connectedness and the ego becomes visible. What is the mask hiding? This scared little guy behind the curtain. The ego will make you think that it's all powerful, so you don't see its small little trembling self and integrate it. The ego is attempting to control you, to keep you safe, to keep you stuck in these lower consciousness zones, because it knows that as soon as you see it, you're gonna rise above it, and it will no longer be important, and maybe it won't be able to keep you safe. So the ego is based on a lot of fear. Crucially, this is so interesting. What the wizard says is, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Attention is your energetic currency. As soon as you put attention on the ego, it can no longer control you. So the heart zone journey is self-awareness, it's ego awareness. It's I see you, you're creating an illusion, and I understand that you are not all powerful. All of this green, man, that's the Emerald City. Emerald is the jewel. The heart is the most important part. The heart's a portal to the upper chakras, the highest vibrations, the truly living life zone. Even though the wizard or the ego asks Dorothy not to pay attention to the man behind the curtain, she does. She persists. Because at this point in the healing journey, she's gained enough courage not to back down, to continue to question the ego's story. Because she's brave and goes through the heart portal, each of the characters receives what they were looking for. But they don't get it from the wizard. The wizard just shows them they had these things all along. The lion finds his roar. That's the opening of the throat chakra. The Scarecrow gets access to the intelligence that he always had without a brain. That's his intuition. It's his third eye that opens. And the Tin Man gets access to his heart that the wizard says he had all along. He just couldn't open it. The wizard says, now you can use them. They had these gifts the whole time. They were just locked up. But once they were able to make the heart journey, they got access to their gifts. That's healing. Now, we have another attempt by the ego to keep itself alive. Once they've gained this sense of self-awareness, the Wicked Witch of the West, who is also green, crucially, pops back up to scare them one more time. What she says is, "Surrender, Dorothy." The way this should have been written, or could have been written, is with a comma. It's an instruction. So not surrender, Dorothy, but surrender, Dorothy. As soon as Dorothy surrenders to this process, she is just on the brink of reintegration, of her consciousness coming to wholeness, which is represented by the fact that she gets into a balloon alone, without the friends that she thought were keeping her safe, without the parts of self that she thought she needed to make this journey. And the balloon rises because Dorothy is moving into the joy, love, and peace zone. When she gets back home, everyone's there. They've been there the whole time. And that is the message, that's the lesson of the healing journey. She's made what looks like this wild trip, but she hasn't actually gone anywhere. She's just learned how to gain access to the parts of self that she lost touch with. Each of her chakras has healed, and the journey through the heart has opened the upper chakras. Now she has a sense of connectedness, a sense of integration. She's a whole self. There's no place like home is the visible effect of the healing journey. That what you seek has been here all along. It's through the heart. There's no external authority. The wizard is you.